Hi, it's Jannie for Hola Prime, and today I'm looking at gold. I'm about to take a long position. I'll explain to you exactly what I'm looking at and why I'm interested in this trade and where exactly I'm going to place the trade. Basically, I'm going to wait for this new candle to break the previous closed candle's high. Right, and the reason for that is, like, if you go to the daily time frame and you zoom out, you'll see that little pivot there, that pivot there, it broke out of that, and now it's coming right back to the support level. Now currently we are trading below that support level, but this is a strong support level, so this could form just a lower wick and then close above that support level, right? So now what I do is I go to smaller time frames, and I want to see some sort of pattern that confirms what I'm looking at on the longer time frames. So right here you can see that there was this very strong move to the downside, breaking the support level, and then we had this impulse to the upside. Right now, you never trade those impulses, okay, because that's not a setup, but you always want to wait for it to come back down, which it did, and now it's pushing back up higher. So what I'm going to do is, like, as soon as this trade breaks the high of this last closed bullish candle, which it's about to do, it's probably going to do it now any moment, then I'll enter the trade, right? Because then this has the potential to form, okay, there we go, okay, there, I just entered the trade. Now my stop loss is going to be below this low of the pullback, okay, before it pushed back higher. So that's going to be my stop loss. My take profit for now, for this video, I'm just going to take a 1 to 2. So I'll go something like that, just above that that support line, and that's going to be the trade for now. If you want to know how to leave your trade open and exactly how to do swing trading, you can always watch our live streams on the Hola Prime channel. But this trade is basically based off, again, the daily support level. So you always have to have a premise, like a catalyst for the trade. What's the reason for the trade? Well, we're trading at a very strong support level on the daily time frame. And then what you want to do is you want to go to smaller time frames and see if you can find some sort of pattern that agrees with the opportunity that you saw on the longer time frame. In this case, obviously the weekly or the daily support level. All right, so you can see we're pushing up nicely there. So let's just let this trade play out and see what the result is. I've been in this trade for about 45 minutes now. You can see we've moved up quite nicely now. And another thing that we have now is we have a confirmed double bottom. So if I zoom out here, you can clearly see, maybe not that much, you can see that we've got that first bottom there, and then we had that impulse. Remember, you never trade the impulse. You want to get that pullback, and then you want to see price pushing back to the upside. So this is another way you can play this. I didn't wait for the double bottom confirmation. I traded this divergence. Okay, so this is another thing you can wait for. So the divergence is basically just, well, it's exactly the same thing. You wait for price to give you that impulse and then come back lower and then push back up. And then when you get a bullish close, then the new candle just needs to break the previous candle's high. And that's your entry. But where we are right now is you can see that we broke the neckline. That's the neckline, and that's when you confirm the double bottom formation or a head and shoulders pattern or anything of that nature. You want to see the neckline broken and close above it, and then that confirms the double bottom. So the probability for this to go higher is pretty high, right? But remember, there's always a premise for the trade. In other words, a catalyst, and that is the daily time frame. We're coming off a support level on the daily time frame. That's when you start to focus on patterns on smaller time frames. Now, on the smaller time frames, price may not necessarily go and just touch that level and pierce through. Sometimes it will fall short. Other times it will pierce through, like over here, right? It did pierce through, and then we got this pattern. But when you get close to this line, that's when you want to start to focus on smaller time frames and look for some sort of pattern to unfold, right? Over here, we didn't get anything, right? There was no double bottom or ascending triangle or anything of that nature. We were pretty much just trading to the side, and then we broke through, and below here, this is now when we're gonna This is where we are getting the confirmation of price action reversing back to the upside. We're now trading back above the daily support level. You can see we're very close to the take profit. We should take profit any minute now. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so we just took profit on that trade. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do day trading or intraday trading. Always focus on longer time frames to identify key levels of support or resistance. And then once you get close to those levels, you then zoom to smaller time frames to look for patterns like a double top or a double bottom or head and shoulders or whatever it is that you're looking at. And then you wait for that confirmation in the same direction as the support or resistance level that you've identified on the longer time frames. Thanks for watching.
Ola Prime, trade with transparency.